Welcome back, guys, to the channel. We are back with another video. This is our weekend series where we analyze the recap of any currency we choose, and we try to find the next possible move in the market structure. So today we are looking at gold, and we're going to do a recap on gold USD. So without wasting any time, let's jump right into it, guys. So we're going to be looking at gold in the 5-minute chart, and we try to look at the possible opportunities that were there within the week. So let's start here. So this box right here is Monday the 2nd of October. So what opportunity was there, and did you miss it or did you catch it? So let's jump right into it, guys. So we started Monday, and the analysis that was there was that on Friday the previous week we had a double support right here that was broken to the downward side, and it means on Monday when we came in, we were waiting for how the in fact this was early in the morning. Sorry about that. This was early in the morning. It was not Friday, it was early in the morning. We got a break of structure, a break of support to the downward side, and we were waiting to see how the New York session is going to react into this structure that was formed. So if you can see in the London session, there was a bit of a range that was moving to the upward side, and it created a trend line right there. So in New York session, we had a break of this trend, but remember we had two supports here that were broken, and we were waiting for a retest of this zone right here. Because it was a downward trend, the first thing, you could have put a pending position right there, a stop loss above the previous resistances, which is right here, and the take profit at the previous support, which could have been exactly right here. And this could have been a setup that could have accumulated a 1.1 to 1.6 risk to return. But if you're waiting for a confirmation, you could have waited for a break of this trend line that was formed within London session. So a break of this trend line was seen right here, and price went back into the previous let me first delete this. Break of this trend line was right here, and price went back into the previous mini supply right there, and you saw a move to the downward side. So you could have entered right here for a 1-to-1, or you could have entered right there above for a 1-to-2. So this was the opportunity in New York session this week on Monday. So let's try and look. Let's say you're trading with a 1 lot size on gold. So this could have been easily a 270. This could have been easily 50 pips, which could have been 500. If you're trading with a 0.1, this could have been easily a $40 to $50. So let's try and move on to the next day, which is a Tuesday. So this is Tuesday right here, and this whole entire move, as you can see, this is the Asian session. It was pretty strong, because as you can see, we are looking at let's see, this was a break during the night, and a retest, and a break again in the early hours of the Asian session. So a trend line was being formed for the last few days, and then here in Tuesday we saw a break of the trend line, and a retest. So remember, every time you see a break of trend line, the point where the trend line is broken becomes a support or a resistance in the future. So this becomes a support. And remember, we had a resistance around the same zone, so this was a double confirmation of this support and this resistance. In future, it was going to become a point of support. Price came back exactly into the support, and we saw a takeoff to the upward side, and it means this was your opportunity in London session, and it was a very good 1-to-2 or 1-to-2.5. So it means if you place the order like a 0.1, this could have been easily a risk of something like a risk of something like $20, and a gain of something like $40 to $50. or if you place an order of one lot, it could have been a risk of $200 and a gaining of $400 to $500. So that was it for the London session on Tuesday, and we tried to look into the New York session. Started from right here where I put this blue box, and on Tuesday the London session came in with news, and there was spikes up and down, and the whole entire London session there was really difficult entries. They were all, it was just up and down, and there was no clear indication of where you could have placed an you could have opened a sell or buy position on a gold USD. So Tuesday was really tricky, and even me, I didn't get any setup on Tuesday in the New York session, but there was a good one in the London session. So if we try to look move on Tuesday, and we move on the next day, which is going to be Wednesday right here. So if you look properly on Wednesday, we had a formation of an upward move that was there in the London session, created some opportunity because it formed a good trend line. Now after this trend line was formed, we saw a break of the trend line to the downward side and a retest of the zone. Remember, every time a trend line is broken, we are always waiting when price come back into the point where the trend line was broken, because that point becomes either a support or a resistance. And in this situation, it became a resistance right here, and this was the opportunity to open your sell position. And as you can see, it had a very good return of as you can see, 1 2 3 4 5, a very good 50 pips with a risk of a little like 20 pips. So this was a very good setup. Or in another way, there was a huge resistance from the previous days around the zone of 28 to 29, and this was also another good opportunity to open a position exactly into the resistance. But this is always a little bit risky, and every time you go for a position like this, you try to minimize your lot size, because it's sometimes these are the riskiest orders, but they tend to have the most return. The return is always big, but they are a little bit risky. So if you go with a small lot on such an order, you can never go wrong. You can lose a little bit, but every time you gain, it will be a significant change in your balance on your account. So let's try to move on and look into Friday. So this is Friday right here. This is Thursday right here. And as you can see, on Thursday we came in, we had a huge trend that was moving to the upward side, and in the London session that trend was broken, and the setup was easily seen as a sell setup. This right here, we called it on our side, guys, and it was really a good one, because it had something like 50 pips easy with a very small risk. So 50 pips was a good one on this setup right there in our London session, and we came in to see on the New York session, which is this blue box right here. So what setup was there in New York session? We had a couple of supports that were created, and in the New York session we saw a break with the news. We saw a break and a pullback into the support. So this was a good setup to open a position here, and there was the setup didn't produce a very good risk to return, because it was something like a 1-to-1. At any point you could have opened your position here. Any point you could have opened your position, it could have easily been a 1-to-1, but as you can see, it was not a good, the market didn't move properly. It was just we call it a jumbo jumbo. It was just a mix of up and down candles, but still it came into the zone, and you could have opened that position in the zone, and you try to capitalize on that confirmation to the downward side. So it was easily a 1-to-1, and you could have moved on. So let's come to Friday. This was the NFP, and as you can see, NFP broke, news came out, and remember we had Canadian news coming out, and we had the USD news coming out on NFP. But remember, NFP came in mixed signals, and Canadian was all the way strong if you look at the news reports that came out on Friday. So if you look, NFP spiked down in the beginning and straight away started moving back up again because the Canadian came in really stronger than the US dollar. So as you can see, it impacted gold in a different way, and we started seeing gold coming back up. We were hoping gold is going to stop here at the point of breakout, but it passed through and we started understanding this was a change of character. It came back a little bit to the downward side and started pushing to the upward side. So this was a break of resistance and a pullback to create a new support above the resistance. So this right here, guys, was another entry confirmation to target the previous resistance, and it was easily a 1 to 3 risk to return, or you could have targeted the higher levels, but this was the most eminent target to catch, and it was a 1 to 1.3. So it was easily something you could have put in to try and target something like 30 to 40 pips while you're risking something like 20 to 25 pips. It was a good setup, though it was the market was very strong and it was moving very fast. So it was a very fast decision, quick thinking, and any point you miss out in this, you could have lost the entire setup. So where is gold heading again? If you look into the 1 hour, we can see that gold has been in a range for the entire week, but now we see a break to the upward side. Let's try and clear everything from the chart. As you can see right now, it's very clear. Gold had a huge support right there, which was not crossing. There was a little bit of liquidity sweep, and we are seeing gold trying to break to the upward side. Now if you look and see, gold broke and is moving above all the resistance zones. So it means we have to try and wait and see how this is going to impact the market. We are waiting for some break to the upward side and try to target positions like those into the 1872 positions, or we have to wait and see how it reacts on Monday and the following days of the week. So that was our video about gold, guys. Thanks for watching and keep it up.